Hello students, today I am going to discuss Cambridge A-level chemistry May June 2023 paper 12. Let's move. Number 1, when chlorine gas is analyzed in a mass spectrometer, chlorine plus 35 mass number ion are detected. Which row is correct? So number C is the right answer. Why? Number of neutron, mass number 35 minus chlorine, you know atomic number 17 means proton number 17. So number of neutron will be 80. So D, C and D is the right answer. But electronic configuration of chlorine plus means chlorine 17 electron. So chlorine plus means 1 electron less, 16 electron. Now you see 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. So 2, 4, 10, 12, 14. C is the right answer. But here 2, 4, 10, 12, 18 electron. So this is wrong. D is wrong. This part is wrong. So C is the right answer. Then number 2, which species is a free radical? You know free radical, a species which has one or more unpaired electron. So here Be beryllium ion, you see beryllium 4 electron, beryllium 4 electron, but Be minus this 5 electron, 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. So p1 has one unpaired electron, so it can, beryllium ion can works as a free radical. Helium, wrong answer, 1s2, 2s2, there is no free electron. Oxide 10 electron, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, there is no free electron. Zinc last, 3s2, there is no free electron. B is the right answer. Now number 3, which statement is correct? D is the right answer. The 8th ionization energy of chlorine is more than the first ion energy of neon. And this is true because chlorine is group 7 element. So it lose electron same, it lose 7 electron. When lose to 8th electron, their noble gas configuration is have to break. So you see 2 chlorine 287. So when 7 electron lose, there are 2 shell. But chlorine has 17 proton in its nucleus and there is 2 shell. Neon 10, 2, 8. So but it has 10 proton in its nucleus. So chlorine 17 proton attracts 2 electron shell more strongly. That's why the 8th ionization energy of chlorine is more than the first ionization energy of neon. Why? Because chlorine has 17 proton, nuclear power is more, nuclear charge is more. So chlorine attract 10 electron more strongly than neon. Now number 4, if 1 mole of hexane combust in an oxygen, excess oxygen, how many moles of products are formed? You see, hexane C6H14. So if you react with oxygen, it's form carbon dioxide plus water, carbon dioxide plus water. So 6 carbon, 6 mole carbon dioxide, 14 hydrogen, 7 mole of water. Now 6 to the 12, 7, 12 plus 7, 19. So this will be 19 by 2, 9.5. So now you are asking how many moles of products are formed. 6 mole carbon dioxide, 7 mole water. Total mole of product will be 13. Next, number 5, separate samples each of mass 1 gram of its compound listed are treated with excess of dilute acid. Which compound release the largest amount of carbon dioxide? Means volume of carbon dioxide. Now you see 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram. So here calcium carbonate, lithium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, sodium carbonate. Lithium mass is less. Relative atomic mass of lithium is less. So mass of lithium carbonate, molecular mass of lithium carbonate will be less. So mole of lithium carbonate will be more, because if you divide by the small number, value mole will be greater. As lithium carbonate mole is greater, so moles of carbon dioxide will be greater and volume will be more. But here calcium, magnesium carbonate, sodium carbonate, their mole will be smaller because they are sodium mass, magnesium relative atomic mass, calcium relative atomic mass will be higher, greater. Then number 6, which statement about chlorine nitrogen oxygen molecule is correct? Here there is nitrogen oxygen double bond. So you know double bond sp2 hybridized, the nitrogen atom is sp2 hybridized. If triple bond sp hybridized, single bond sp3 hybridized. As here double bond, so answer will be the nitrogen atom is sp2 hybridized. Next, number 7, which row is correct? Molecule BF3, boron trifluoride. Boron is group 3 element, so 3 bond pair, trigonal planar. Total number of pairs of electron in the valence shell of the central atom. Here central atom is boron. Boron is a group 3. So number of electrons, there are total number of pairs electrons in the valence shell. So boron trifluoride F boron trifluoride. So number of pairs of electrons in the valence shell will be 3. 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair. So shape will be trigonal planar. And why A is wrong? Carbon dioxide linear, but carbon dioxide is double bond, carbon oxygen double bond. So there is not 2, 4 bond pair of electron, 4 pairs of electron, 1, 2, 3, 4. This a regular tetrahedral, no, this is pyramidal, so this is wrong. And phosphorus pentafluoride will be trigonal bipyramidal, so this is octahedral, this is wrong. Then number 8, 8. The volume of vessel is given, volume is given. It contains pure argon at pressure is given and at a temperature of 25 degrees centigrade. Use under this condition it can be assumed that argon behave as an ideal gas. Which mass of argon does it contain? If you calculate, you will get 1.93 gram. So how you calculate, you see, first Pb equal nRT, ideal gas equation. So number of mole, n equal Pb by RT. P is given 1 times 10 to the power 5 Pascal. V 1.2 times 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube, and R 8.31, 25 degrees centigrade. So 25 plus absolute temperature 273, it will 298. So you can calculate number of moles. Then mass of argon will be number of moles time mass of argon, relative atomic mass of argon. So mass of argon will be number of mole times molecular mass of argon, 39.9. So 1.93. So answer is the B is the right answer. Then this is the number 8 answer, 1.93. Now next, number 9. You see, a student mixed 25 centimeter cube of 4 mole per dm cube. Volume is given, concentration of given hydrochloric acid with an equal volume of 4 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide. The initial temperature of both solution was 15 degrees centigrade. The maximum temperature recorded was 30 degrees centigrade. The heat capacity of the final solution can be assumed to be 4.18 and the density of the solution can be assumed 1 gram per centimeter cube. Use this result. What is the enthalpy change of neutralization of hydrochloric acid? So this answer will be B, minus 31.4 kilojoule per mole. Now how you will calculate, you can get idea from this. First, E equal mc del T, and energy transferred, mass of solution is 50, heat capacity, specific heat capacity is given 4.18, del T change in temperature, higher temperature minus lowest temperature. So you will get 3.135 kilojoule. Now moles of hydrochloric acid, concentration times volume, 25 divided by 1000 centimeter cube is converted to dm cube, so 0.1 mole. Now enthalpy change del H will be energy transferred, energy change divided by number of mole, and this is negative sign because temperature is increasing, temperature is rising, so this reaction is exothermic reaction. For exothermic reaction, delta H value will be negative. This is the answer. So first mc del T, m is 50, why? 25 centimeter cube plus equal 25 centimeter cube hydrochloric acid plus equal volume of sodium hydroxide. That means total volume will be 50 centimeter cube. So you know 1 centimeter cube equal 1 gram. So 50 centimeter cube will be 50 gram. 4.18 specific heat capacity. Change in temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature, you get this value. Then N means number of mole of hydrochloric acid, concentration times volume, 0.1 mole. So enthalpy change per mole will be energy transferred divided by number of mole, 0.1, and this value will be negative because temperature rises. That's why this reaction is exothermic reaction. Next, number 10. Nitrogen monoxide is rapidly oxidized to nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide can then dimerize, these two molecules join together to form dinitrogen tetroxide. So what is the value of the standard enthalpy change for the reaction? Yes, first you have to find out enthalpy of the reaction for this reaction 1. As enthalpy of formation values are given, so enthalpy of the reaction will be enthalpy of formation of product minus enthalpy of formation of reactant. Standard enthalpy of formation of product minus standard enthalpy of formation of reactant. So here 2 mole, 2 times 34 minus 2 mole NO, 2 times 91, and oxygen is 0. You know, enthalpy of formation of any element is defined as 0. Oxygen is here element, so it is 0. If you calculate, you get minus 114. But question is given when this NO2, nitrogen dioxide, dimerize means two molecules join together. In that case, minus 58 kilojoule energy also produced. So total enthalpy change will be this plus minus 58, negative 172. So answer will be D, negative 172. Then lithium aluminum hydride contains aluminum hydride ion in which aluminum has an oxidation number of +3. So lithium aluminum hydride reacts with water as shown this. In this reaction, each of 4 water molecules produces one hydroxide ion. It does this by losing one hydrogen ion which react with lithium aluminum hydride. So which changes in oxidation number occur in this reaction, and you see aluminum hydride ion AlH4 ion is made by AlH3 plus 1 hydride ion H minus. So answer will be C. Hydrogen increased by 1 and also decreased by 1. Say which changes in oxidation number. So here hydrogen is plus, hydride minus 1, and hydrogen here 0. It does by losing one hydrogen ion. Losing one hydrogen ion means +1. So here hydrogen plus 1, here 0, here hydrogen minus 1, hydride ion is minus 1. So hydrogen increased by 1, here minus 1 to 0, so hydrogen oxidation number increased by 1, and here plus 1 to 0, so also decreased by 1. That means hydrogen oxidation number 1 increased and 1 decreased. Number 12, the vanadium salt is soluble in water and reacts rapidly with powdered manganese in dilute sulfuric acid. This equation is given. So which statement about this reaction is correct? B is the correct answer. Why? Manganese is the reducing agent in this reaction. You know, reducing agent means the substance which reduces another substance but itself oxidizes. So here vanadium salt, vanadium oxidation number is plus 4. Here this 3 is for vanadium, so this plus 3. Vanadium oxidation number decreases and manganese here 0, here plus 2. So manganese reduces vanadium plus 4 to plus 3 but itself oxidizes 0 to plus 2. So manganese is the reducing agent in this reaction. So manganese works as reducing agent in this reaction. And why here plus? How VOSO4 plus 4? You see VOSO4, here VO is the plus 2 and SO4 minus 2. So plus 2. So here vanadium is plus 4. Next, number 13. In which equilibrium will an increase in pressure at constant temperature increases the yield of the products? On the right hand side. So increase in pressure, and you know, if you increase in pressure, equilibrium will move to the smaller number of gaseous molecules. So here 4 mole, 1 mole, 5 mole. Right side has 2 plus 2, 4 mole. So for B, if you increase in pressure, equilibrium will move from left to right. So if left to right, the yield of product will be increases. So B is the right answer. Why C is wrong? Same mole, so no effect. Here right hand side has more mole, so it will go right to left. This wrong answer. And this 4 mole, same mole, so no effect of increasing pressure. Now 14. Hydrogen iodide is added to an evacuated reaction vessel. The vessel is sealed and warm. A decomposition reaction occurs. Hydrogen and iodine are formed. Some hydrogen iodide remains. When equilibrium is established, the total pressure is 1.2 times 10 to the power 5 Pascal. The partial pressure of hydrogen is given 4 times 10 to the power 3 Pascal. Hydrogen iodide, hydrogen and iodine are all gases under the condition used. What is the value of Kp for the equilibrium at this temperature? You are asking, find the value of Kp. Assuming the decomposition is the forward reaction. So this answer will be B, 1.28 times 10 to the power minus 3. So you see how you will get your answer. This is equation is given 2 mole hydrogen iodide to produce hydrogen and iodine, and you know partial pressure of hydrogen mole fraction times Tp means total pressure. So partial pressure of hydrogen is given 4 times 10 to the power 3, mole fraction total pressure is given 1.2 10 to the power 5. So mole fraction of hydrogen will be 1 by 30. So now mole fraction of hydrogen 1 by 30, also mole fraction of iodine 1 by 30. Mole fraction of hydrogen iodide will be total mole fraction 1. So 1 minus 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30. So you will get 28 by 30 mole fraction of hydrogen iodide. Now if you get mole fraction, so Kp expression, Kp equal partial pressure of product divided by partial pressure of reactant. So now partial pressure of hydrogen will be mole fraction of hydrogen times total pressure Tp. Then partial pressure of iodine will be mole fraction of iodine times total pressure. Then partial pressure of hydrogen iodide will be mole fraction of hydrogen iodide times total pressure square, because 2 mole hydrogen iodide. If you calculate, you will get 1.28 10 to the power minus 3. No unit cancel because there are same number of moles on both sides. Now 15, the equations for two reactions are shown. Reaction 1, reaction X, reaction Y. Two reactions have similar reaction mechanism. Now the initial rate of reaction 1 is greater, rate of reaction X is greater than Y, than that of Y, when measured under identical conditions of temperature, pressure and the reactant concentrations. Which statement explain the difference? That means reaction of X, rate of reaction X is greater. So this answer will be 1, because the activation energy for reaction 1 is less than the activation energy than that of Y. Reaction 1 has activation energy less. So if activation energy is less, more molecules have energy greater than activation energy, so more successful collision occurs. So C is the right answer. Y2 is wrong. The BR bond is weaker than CCl bond. No, product BR bond is formed. This is not answer. A high frequency of collision between molecules NO occur than between molecules of NO. So 3 is partially right, but 1 is the most right answer, because if activation is less, then higher frequency of collision occur. So number 1 explain the answer correctly. Next 14. Done. So 16. The diagram shows the Boltzmann distribution of energies in a gas. The gas can take part in a reaction with activation energy EA. The gas is maintained at constant temperature. This y-axis proportion of molecules, number of molecules, and x-axis energy EA. This up to this activation energy, from this to this activation energy. Now you see which statement is correct. So C is the right answer. You know, if a catalyst added, peak of P will be same. Yes, this peak will remain same, but you know, when catalyst is added, activation energy decreases. So this amount of energy will decrease. This line will left to left hand side. If a catalyst is added, peak P will same, and EA means activation energy will move to the left, because this line will move to the left because catalyst decreases the activation energy. So if you don't use catalyst, activation energy from this to this, if you use catalyst, this activation energy decreases. So this line will move to left. Why A is wrong? If a catalyst is added, peak P will be lower. No, this will remain same. If a catalyst is added, peak P will be lower. This wrong. If a catalyst is added, peak will be same, and EA will move to the right. No, it will move to the left because catalyst decreases the activation energy, not catalyst increases the activation energy. Next, (17) L, M, N are three different elements from period 3 of the periodic table. L is the element whose atom has 3 unpaired electrons, so L will be phosphorus, because phosphorus has P3 3 electron unpaired, you know. M is the element with the highest electrical conductivity in this period, so M will be aluminium, because aluminium has more delocalized electrons, so electrical conductivity is the highest. And N is the element with the highest melting point, period 3 silicon, so N will be silicon. Now, whose statement about the element is correct? L is correct. D is the correct answer. Why? L has higher atomic number than both M and N. L phosphorus atomic number 15 and aluminium atomic number 13, silicon N atomic number is 14. So 15 is greater than 13 and 14. That's why L has the higher atomic number than both M and N. So D is the right answer. Then next 18. So in reaction 1 or 2, X represent an element of period 3. So in each reaction, X is forming a product where X is the highest oxidation state. X is the highest oxidation state. So reaction 1, chlorine element X, Y is the valency of chlorine and Z is the valency of X, so Z will be highest. And oxygen element X, so Q is the valency of X and P is the valency of Q, so Q will be the highest. Now which ratio shows a steady increase from sodium to phosphorus? And answer is this, right answer, both Z and Y. And Q and P both increases, both steady increases, both increases. So D is the right answer. And this wrong. Z and only, Z and Y, no, Z, Q, this wrong. So D is the right answer. So sodium chloride, phosphorus pentachloride. So this Y, Z, 1:1, 1:5. If Z is to 1:1, 5, 1/1, 5/1 increases. Then Q, PQ 2:1, 2:5. So if Q be 1/2, 5/2 increases, steady increases. So this is the right answer. Now sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon and phosphorus are all elements in period 3 of the periodic table. 3 statements about the oxides and chlorides of these elements are given. Number 1, the ionically bonded oxides all reacts with hydrochloric acid. Yes. Say magnesium oxide, sodium oxide, these are ionic oxide, so they react with acid because they are metal oxide. Metal oxide are basic oxide, so they will react with acid. Number 1 is true and 3 also true. So answer is the C. Why 3? The two most electronegative elements both form covalently bonded chlorides. So most electronegative is sulfur form sulfur chlorides, and chlorine form PCl3 HCl. So they form covalently bonded chloride. 3 also right, but why 2 is wrong? All metal chlorides produce neutral solution when added to water. No, some chlorides, say SiCl4, produces acidic solution. Hydrogen chloride is formed, and phosphorus pentachloride dissolve in water to produce phosphoric acid. Acidic solution is formed. So this is wrong because all metal chlorides produces neutral solutions. This is wrong. Next, the table compares calcium with barium and calcium carbonate with barium carbonate. Which row is the correct? So A is the right answer. Why? Reactivity of the element with water, barium is more reactive, and you know calcium, strontium, barium, metal down the group reactivity increases, so barium is more reactive. You know metal group 1, 2, metal down the group reactivity increases because shell number increases, so outer electron go far away from nucleus, electron lost more easily, means more reactive. So A is the right answer. And thermal stability of metal carbonate, calcium carbonate, barium carbonate, and you know group 2 carbonate thermal stability down the group increases, so that's why barium carbonate is more stable, thermally stable. because barium carbonate is below than calcium carbonate. So A is the right answer. Why B is wrong? Barium is more reactive, this is true, but calcium carbonate more stable, this is wrong. Why C is wrong? Calcium is more reactive, this is wrong. Barium carbonate is more stable, this is true. D, calcium is more reactive, no, this is wrong. So A is the fully correct answer. Thank you, dear students. Hello students. Now I am going to discuss Cambridge A-level chemistry May-June 2023 paper 12 MCQ paper, question 21 to 40. Let's move. Number 21. Solutions P and Q contain a different group 2 ion at same concentration, different group 2 ion. One contains magnesium ion and other contain barium ion, group 2 cation. One is magnesium 2 plus, other is barium 2 plus. Tests are carried out on separate 5 cm cube samples of P and Q. Test 1, add 1 cm cube 0.1 mole per dm cube sodium sulfate. Test 2, 1 cm cube 0.1 mole per dm cube sodium hydroxide. Two tests are carried out. What are the results of this test? Result in test 1, B is the right answer. More precipitate with barium ion. Test 1, magnesium reacts with sodium sulfate, magnesium sulfate white precipitate is formed, and barium ion reacts with sulfate to form barium sulfate. And you know, group 2 sulfate solubility decreases down the group, so more barium sulfate will be produced. Why more barium sulfate will be produced? Because barium sulfate is less soluble. Group 2 sulfate solubility decreases down the group. Barium sulfate less soluble, so this precipitate will be more. Now this test 2, reaction with sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide white precipitate will form, and barium hydroxide is soluble. Barium hydroxide soluble, so more precipitate with magnesium ion. Because magnesium hydroxide is insoluble, but barium hydroxide is soluble, so magnesium hydroxide will give more precipitate. And you know, group 2 hydroxide down the group solubility increases. Magnesium hydroxide is insoluble, barium hydroxide is soluble, so barium hydroxide no precipitate, but magnesium hydroxide give precipitate. B is the right answer. Now number 22, Z dissolves in water to give an aqueous solution K. K gives a dense white precipitate when silver nitrate is added. White precipitate means silver nitrate is, silver chloride is white precipitate. So this contain chloride ion or C is A or C is the right answer. Then second part, when heated with aqueous potassium hydroxide alkali, K gives off a gas that turns moist universal indicator paper blue. So ammonium compound, if you add potassium hydroxide alkali, ammonia gas, alkaline gas will be produced. Ammonia gas is alkaline, which turns universal indicator paper blue. So answer is A is the right answer. Silver nitrate reacts with chloride ion to form silver chloride white precipitate, and ammonium ion reacts with potassium hydroxide to produce alkaline gas ammonia, which turns universal indicator paper blue. Next, 23. Ammonium sulfate and ammonium nitrate are used as fertilizers. These salts have different percentage by mass of nitrogen. They have same effect as each other on the pH of the wet natural soil. Which row is correct? Which row is correct? Higher percentage of nitrogen by mass is ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate NH3 NH4 and NO3. So here 2 nitrogen, and effect on pH of the soil as decreases. As ammonium nitrate is acidic salt, so pH of the soil will be decreases. Higher percentage of nitrogen by mass, and ammonium sulfate, this formula will be NH4 2SO4. So ammonium sulfate will have greater molecular mass. So if you divide by more values, percentage of nitrogen will be less, but question is asking higher percentage. That's why this answer is ammonium nitrate. So relative molecular mass of ammonium nitrate is less, so if you divide by the less number, nitrogen percentage will be more. That's why answer is A. Now 24. The equation shows a reaction that occurs between carbon monoxide and nitrogen monoxide in a catalytic converter. Carbon monoxide harmful gas, nitrogen monoxide harmful gas. These two gas react to produce less harmful carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. So which statement is correct? C. The reaction reduces the possibility of the formation of photochemical smoke as nitrogen oxide reduces, so nitrogen oxide, amount of nitrogen oxide decreases, so photochemical smoke will be decreases. That's why the reaction reduces the possibility of the formation of photochemical smoke. So C is the right answer. A is wrong. The catalyst is used in finely divided iron. This is wrong. The reaction prevents greenhouse gas emission into atmosphere. No. The reaction result in increased ozone depletion. No. Not increase, decrease. because NO decreases, so depletion of ozone layer decreases, not increase. Now, which compound has the molecular formula C6H10O? So answer will be A. If you count 1 carbon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Now hydrogen is 10. Here 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen, 3 hydrogen. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 10 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So this is the answer is A. Then number 26. The general formula for a non-cyclic alcohol is CnH2n plus 1 OH. How many different structural isomers are there for n equal 3 and n equal 4? So if equal n equal 3, that will be propanol. So propanol has two isomers. One is propan 1-ol, other is propan 2-ol. So two isomers. If n equal 4, that will be butanol. Butanol has four isomers. 1 butanol, 2 butanol, 2 methyl propan 1-ol, 2 methyl propan 2-ol. So butanol has four isomers and propanol has two isomers. That's why answer is the B is the right answer. Now this 27. Compound X C5H10O3 has one chiral carbon atom per molecule. Compound X produces bubbles with sodium but not with sodium carbonate. That means X reacts with sodium, so it will be alcohol, but not with sodium carbonate. That means X is not acid. So which formula could represent compound X? So answer is B. Why? B contains alcohol group. Alcohol reacts with sodium to produce hydrogen gas, that means bubbles, and not with sodium carbonate, that means it is not acid. So C acid wrong, D also wrong. And B also has chiral center. This is the this carbon is chiral. You see this chiral center. CH2OH group, hydrogen CH3, COOCH3. 4. B contains chiral carbon which contains different group. This center is chiral center or chiral carbon. Next, ethane reacts with an excess chlorine in presence of ultraviolet light to form a mixture of products. How many of these products contain two carbon atoms and one or more chlorine atom? This answer will be D, 9. 9 products can form which contains two carbon atoms and one or more chlorine atoms. This is the 9. First, one hydrogen is replaced by chlorine atom. Second, two hydrogen is replaced by two chlorine atom. 3 hydrogen replaced by 3 chlorine atom. This first 3. Then second, 4 hydrogen replaced by 4 chlorine atom, and this 5 hydrogen replaced by 5 chlorine atom. This 6 hydrogen replaced by 6 chlorine atom. 3 plus 3, 6 compounds. Then left hand side ethane, CH3, CH3. Left hand carbon 2 chlorine replace, right hand 2 hydrogen replaced by chlorine atom, and right carbon 2 hydrogen is replaced by 2 chlorine atom, one compound. And second one, 2 hydrogen replaced by 2 chlorine atom, and right one, 1 hydrogen replaced by 1 chlorine atom. Third one, 2 hydrogen is replaced by 2 chlorine atom, 1 chlorine left, and 1 hydrogen is replaced by 1 chlorine atom. That means 2 hydrogen, 1 left hydrogen, 1 right hydrogen, 2 hydrogen is replaced by 2 chlorine atom. Now 29, when bromoethane means haloalkane reacts with hot ethanolic sodium hydroxide, a colorless gas is formed. This gas decolorizes aqueous bromine. That means alkene is produced. Bromoalkane, haloalkane reacts with ethanolic sodium hydroxide, alkene is produced. So bromoethane 2 carbon, so ethene will be produced, bromoethane to ethene. Then this ethene turns bromine water decolorizes. So answer will be C, ethene. Now then 30, alkynes. Alkynes mean carbon-carbon triple bond. Alkynes are hydrocarbon that contains one carbon-carbon triple bond. Like alkenes, alkynes take part in addition reaction. A saturated compound can be formed, alkane will be formed. For example, ethane reacts with an excess of hydrogen to form ethane. Propane C3H4 undergoes an addition reaction with an excess hydrogen bromide into a stage. Markovnikov's rule applies to the addition of hydrogen bromide at each stage. What is the main product obtained when propane reacts with an excess hydrogen bromide? So your answer will be D, 2,2-dibromopropane. 1, 2, 3. Number 2 carbon contains 2 bromine atom. So 2,2-dibromopropane will be the main product, major product. How? You see, this is propane, hydrogen bromide reacts. So first this carbon contains 1 hydrogen, this carbon contains no hydrogen. According to Markovnikov rule, so hydrogen will be added with this carbon, bromine will go to the middle carbon. This. Then when this 2-bromopropene when reacts with hydrogen bromide, right carbon contains 2 hydrogen, left carbon contains no hydrogen. So this hydrogen will be added to right hand carbon. Now you see, right carbon contains 3 hydrogen and bromine will go to the left carbon, means middle carbon. So you can write it CH3 CBr2 CH3, I mean 2,2-dibromopropane. So D will be the right answer, correct answer. Next, this 31, bromine reacts with alkenes by an electrophilic addition mechanism in which a cation is formed as an intermediate. which mixture will produce the most stable intermediate cation? This answer will be C. When methyl propene reacts with bromine, these 3 degree or tertiary carbonium is formed, which is most stable. How it is formed? You see, when methyl propene reacts with hydrogen bromide, methyl propene reacts with bromine Br2, then this bromine become negative ion, this bromine become positive ion. So this double bond gives electron to positive carbon, and this bromine is added with this carbon, middle carbon will be positive. So this positive carbon is attached to 3 alkyl group, methyl group. So this is tertiary or 3 degree carbonium ion, which is the most stable. Next, 32. Haloalkane reacts with hot ethanolic potassium cyanide. The reaction mechanism is either SN1 or SN2. Whose statement is correct? D is the correct. The SN2 mechanism involves a short-lived negatively charged transition state, and you know SN2, a transition state is formed which is negative. So D is the right answer. But A is wrong. Why? All secondary haloalkane react by a SN2 mechanism only. No, all secondary and primary. So this is wrong. B is wrong. Why? Both halogenoalkane and the cyanide ion are involved in the initial step of the SN1 mechanism. No, only halogenoalkane involved. So this is wrong. Chloroethane reacts with cyanide ion by an SN1 mechanism only. No, chloroethane reacts by SN2 mechanism, because chloroethane is a primary haloalkane. So D is the right answer. Next, 33. X, Y, Z are 3 isomeric alcohols. This primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, this is tertiary alcohol. So now separate samples of each alcohol are warmed with a mild oxidizing agent, and the result is noted. One of these alcohol, when dehydrated, will give a pair of cis trans isomers with molecular formula C5H10. Which row is correct? You are asking now. So C is the right answer. Reagent with mild oxidizing agent. So this is primary alcohol, so it will oxidize to aldehyde. Reacts with mild oxidizing agent. Also Y is a secondary alcohol, so it will goes to ketone. So X and Y only answer. But Z is the tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol does not oxidize. Then second part of the question gives cis trans isomers. So Y only gives cis trans isomers. Why? Because dehydrated. When Y dehydrated, this OH group butene will be formed. Butene, 2-butene will be formed, which can form two cis-trans geometric isomers. One is cis-butene, others will be trans-butene. Cis-butene, trans-butene. So Y is only, and why X is wrong? X will give form but1n. But will not give two geometric isomer. So Y only gives cis-trans isomers. Next, 34. Compound G gives a pale yellow precipitate with alkaline iodine, iodoform test, which could be compound G, and you know this is pentanetol, because pentanetol is a secondary alcohol group CSOH, pentanetol. So the compound which has secondary alcohol group means CH3CSOH, that compound will give iodoform test. Pentanetol, this will not give this test. Pentanetol has no this group CH3. Pentanetol means CH3 CH2 CHOS. Pentanetol, this CH2 CH3. So the compound which has this group only CH3 CSOS, secondary alcohol group, that will gives yellow precipitate with alkaline iodine. So B is the right answer. C wrong. Why? Because C is not secondary alcohol group. C is secondary alcohol group, but it has no secondary alcohol group. CH3 CH2 CSOS, this group absent. And 2-methyl pentanetol, this is tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol does not give iodoform test. So B is the right answer. Next, (35). The mechanism for the reaction between ethanol means aldehyde and hydrogen cyanide start with the step shown. This is nucleophilic addition reaction. So electron goes to O minus ion, oxygen will be negative, and cyanide ion will be added to positive carbon. Now you are asking what is the correct structure of the intermediate ion form and what is the next step in this mechanism. Now you see intermediate oxygen will be negative, so oxygen will be negative, and cyanide ion will be added to this carbon. So cyanide ion has been added to this carbon. Now next step, cyanide ion will takes electron, hydrogen become partially positive, and oxygen gives its lone pair electron to give delta plus hydrogen and to form alcohol OH group. So D is the right answer. But why C is wrong? Oxygen is positive, this is wrong. Why B is wrong? This cyanide ion, this wrong. Carbon nitrogen triple bond, not double bond, this is wrong. And here A also wrong, oxygen is positive, no, oxygen will be negative because oxygen takes electron. D is the right answer. Next, this 36. Which compound reacts with 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine? That means, aldehyde and ketone reacts with 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine but does not react with tolerance reagent. And ketone does not react with tolerance reagent, aldehyde reacts with tolerance reagent. So that compounds will be ketone. So this is B is wrong because aldehyde group present, it will react with tolerance reagent. C also wrong, aldehyde group. And 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine reacts with carbonyl compound. So A has carbonyl group. A reacts with 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine but does not react with tolerance reagent because it is a carboxylic acid. So carboxylic acid and ketone does not react with tolerance reagent. Only aldehyde reacts with tolerance reagent. Now 37. Compound X has stereoisomers and forms a precipitate when warmed with failing solution. What could be the structure of the X? So failing solution reacts with aldehyde. So A is the right answer for first part, also D is the right answer. But why D is the fully correct answer? And compound X has stereoisomers, so it has chiral center. You see, D has here one chiral center. This also have one hydrogen. So this carbon contains here CH3 group, here CH2 group, here CH2 group, here hydrogen, 4 different groups. So compound D will shows stereoisomers because it has a chiral center. This carbon is a chiral center, here one hydrogen have. Now compound A have no any chiral center and it has double bond stereoisomers, but this CH3, this CH3 same group, so it will not show geometric isomer. Next 38. Which reaction will form propanoic acid? Propanoic acid. C is the right answer. Acidic hydrolysis of propanenitrile. And propanenitrile CN compound, nitrile compound means CN compound. If you acid hydrolysis means water in presence of acid H plus, CN group directly converted to carboxyl group. So propanoic acid, propanenitrile formula CH3 CH2 CN. This is the propanenitrile. 1, 2, 3 carbon. 3 carbon containing cyanide compound is known as propanenitrile. It will convert it to propanoic acid. CH3 CH2 COOH, propanoic acid. So now C is the right answer. Why A is wrong? Acidic hydrolysis of propyl ethanoic acid will form, not propanoic acid. And alkaline hydrolysis of ethyl propanoate, sodium salt of propanoic acid will be formed. So this is wrong. Ethane nitrile, it will be formed ethanoic acid, not propanoic acid. So only propanenitrile, if you do acidic hydrolysis, you will get propanoic acid. Now 39. Lactide is an intermediate in the manufacture of synthetic fiber. This is the lactide, star functional group. Which compound on heating with an acid catalyst can produce lactide? So this is, if you break down here, this will be alcohol group, OH group, and here COOH group. So this name will be 2-hydroxypropanoic acid. 2-hydroxy, 1, 2, 3 carbon carboxylic acid, propanoic acid. Number 2 carbon contain OH group. So this 2-hydroxypropanoic acid will be the answer. Which compound on heating give an acid catalyst? With an acid catalyst give produce lactide. If 2-hydroxypropanoic acid, if you give heat acid hydrolysis, we will get lactide. So this is the, here OH is added, here carboxyl double bond and also OH, carboxyl group and alcohol group. This form, this lactide is a star. So this name will be 1, 2, 3 propanoic acid. Number 2 carbon contains 1 hydroxyl group. This name will be 2-hydroxypropanoic acid. C is the right answer. Now you see, the diagram shows the relative abundance of different isotopes of lead in a sample of lead ore. The abundance of 208 is half that of 206, and the abundance of 208 and 209 are equal percentage abundance. Their relative atomic mass is given. What is the relative atomic mass of lead in the sample? So you know, Ar equal 206 times 50. Why? Because the abundance of 208 is half of 206, that of 206. So this abundance 50 times 206, then 208 times abundance 25, 209 times 25 divided by 100. Mass time percentage abundance divided by 100, then you will get the AR 207.25. That's why B is the right answer. Mass into percentage, you will take sum, then you divide by 100, you will get the AR. Thank you, dear student.